Hello, this is Tim Patterson, and we're here today to talk about GunCraze. So, what is GunCraze? GunCraze is an action tabletop role-playing system that brings players into intense action combat, pushing the boundaries of realism. And what do I mean by pushing the boundaries of realism? Well, anybody that enjoys a good 80s, 90s action movie understands when realism gets pushed a little bit. That character throws a knife through the enemy and pins him through a wall. Could it happen? Maybe. And that's the type of realism we're talking about pushing. GunCraze is a system that uses D10s. Successes in GunCraze are determined by the roll of a 10-sided dice, and they're compared normally to a target number or to an opposed roll, usually from an opponent. GunCraze uses a 2-second round, where characters can either perform a movement and an action, or perform a combination action. GunCraze uses a classless system that offers a large amount of variation of character development. There are literally millions of character customization combinations. Characters are customized by specializations, attributes, perks, talents, skills, and then their weapons and equipment. And we're going to get into all these in different videos. In future videos, we're going to discuss that character creation. We're going to talk about talents. We're going to talk about skills. We're going to talk about the different types of weapons. We're going to talk about craze points. GunCraze is currently in an alpha testing, meaning it's still in development. You can support GunCraze directly by subscribing to our Patreon. All right, good evening. Welcome to the GunCraze kick stream. My name is Tim Patterson. I'm the creator of GunCraze, and look forward to chatting with you tonight about it. We had just finished up rifle talents, all right? And what are rifle talents? What does that even mean? All right, so if you're just joining with GunCraze, you haven't really watched it before. GunCraze is an action, tactical, combat, simulation role-playing game, all right? It has some technicality, easy to learn, but with a good gun master, you have no problems navigating the system. Everything's a generally easy combat. You roll your D10, your opponent rolls their D10, you compare. All right, whether it's the gun master or another player, or however it works, it's always usually an opposed roll. You add your buffs, and from there you get your result. All right, ties go to the defender in almost every situation. And when you're talking about GunCraze, one of the other things that's exciting about GunCraze is its talents. Talents are special feats or abilities that your character can pay for using talent points to add to the amount of things that they can do. All right, you could potentially have a huge list of talents. All right, it's not very restrictive. It's actually overflowing. All right, and what that does is allows you to build really cool attack profiles where you can, aim shot and add in other talents so that you're doing just a massive amount of damage to the enemy, and that could be one of your favorite attack profiles that you use. You can always switch it up. You could drop a thing or not, and we're going to get into talking about how talents work and why they are great. Okay, so in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, which I was a huge fan of, 3.75 Pathfinder, if you've played it, hey, if you're joining us on stream, you know what I'm talking about. Go ahead and drop that, I know what you're talking about, Pathfinder, D&D 3.5, I know what feats are. All right, so feats work great because it allows your character so much customization. You can do some cool things with your character that can't be captured within the class options. It couldn't be captured within the skills, so they put it into feats, and you had all these kind of feats, tomb tainted feats, power attack and cleave. And that being said, you only had a set amount of these feats you had in your character's lifetime. So for a fighter that used a greatsword, I love the greatsword fighter analogy. It's one of the best. I'm sure there's several more you guys can school me up on, but I could think about it too and do it, but I like it. Just keep it easy. All right, so you got the greatsword. Human greatsword fighter, level 1. He's going to go in with 3 feats, which is a lot. And he's going to get power attack and cleave. Those are the 2 he's going to get, right? He gets 1 for being a fighter, 1 for being a first level character, 1 for being a human. However, it seemed like everybody that's a greatsword fighter always gets power attack, cleave, and weapon focus, probably. Weapon focus greatsword. Well, if everybody has it, then, what's the point? Well, there's so many other feats. Well, Tim, if you're a greatsword user, those feats are dumb. Like, they're duh. You're gonna get them because you can do massive amounts of damage to groups. Well, but these other feats, no, you don't understand. Those feats, I only have so many feats, and I'm gonna spend them on this. Well, no, this is GunCraze. We use something called talent points. All right, so everything has a cost. So go back to D&D and imagine that every one of those feats had a cost value, and the ones that were really good or really used a lot had a little bit higher of a cost, and the ones that weren't used so much, or maybe that were utility in nature, maybe like were 1. All right, what does that allow you to do? That allows you to shirk buying the power tech cleave, because now you can use the 10 points that it costs to buy 7 other feats, D&D wise. But they never did that, unfortunately, because I didn't work for them then, and nor do I work for them now, but that's fine. Feat points are where it would have been, but since they're not, GunCraze has adopted the concept of feats. We've changed the term into talents, and these are the many talents that your hero, your action hero, can have, and they're based on points. All right. So the 4 combat specializations, which are ranged combat, melee combat, body, and quickness. All right, those are the only things that have talents. The last specialization is called non-combat, and it's for role-playing use. It's based on, it does everything with your skills integration. Okay, so moving along. We'll start off at the talent section, kind of walk through what it looks like. All right, I'm going to zoom this in for you so you can see it, and I'm going to open a couple more windows as we work on these. All right, so we got you have your talent points, your starting specialization score. If you're starting a game and your specialization score, you get it to 10, well, you're going to get, whatever your starting is and you're new, you're going to get all those points, all right? So your starting specialization score, this should be probably better displayed in a matrix as opposed to like this, but if you start out with a 0 and you went to 1, you would get 1. 1 to 2, you get 1. 2 to 3, you get 1. But as you start adding points, by level 17, you're getting 4 talent points, all right? Or by power level. I'm sorry, by rank 17. Talking about D&D throws me all off. So specializations have ranks, all right? And the total of all your specialization ranks is your power level, okay? That being said, let's move on. All right. So these are the ranged combat talents. These are the general ranged combat talents. They have like double tap, allows your second ranged attack at a -2 talent penalty, all right, for semi-automatic weapons, okay? Double tap improved takes away that penalty and makes it a -1. And double tap mastered, it negates the penalty altogether, all right? So double tap is essentially your second ranged attack in a turn. All right, improved aim. Your aim shot bonus, which is normally +2, becomes +4. All right, so you're going to do an aim shot, you gain a +4 bonus. That's huge. All right, because it has to combat other things. All right, aim shot bonus becomes +4. Called shot penalty, which is normally -8, goes down to a -6. Okay, precise shot is kind of when you see these arrows, it means it kind of steps up, and they may be called different things, or they may have an improved and mastered naming convention to them. Okay. So that being said, moving on. So we've already done handgun talents. I have to go back and look at smoking barrels. I want to kind of feel out how a couple more things go before I shift these, if I do it all. All right. And from there, we have our SMG talents, our submachine gun talents. And now you'll see something in here called cross use. All right, I'm going to zoom in a little further. All right, so cross use means I can spend. Interesting. All right, I can spend. Let me back up a step. That is weird. I don't mean. It's almost like this row it unsorted itself while I was messing with it, which happens, but I'm going to figure out what it is. All right. I'll mess around with it later. Formatting is always a thing, right? You always get caught up in formatting. All right. Anyway, the concept is cross-use. So you can spend the original cost to use it on the weapon that you're actually trading it on, or you can pay the full cost and use it on all weapons. All right. Now that is a big cost of 6 talent points. So you're probably gonna walk into those pretty meagerly, all right, very slowly. You can also pay for half. You can just pay and get the handguns version for like for akimbo aim. But like later on, you want to upgrade to the 6 talent points. You just spend 3 more. That's all it is. It's not. Nobody's trying to hijinks you out of any points. All right. As you're building your character, you're gaining points. You're like, you know what? I want to do this. All right. Rifle. Let's see. So we did rifle talents. All right. So SMG talents are all about automatic fire. That's what SMGs do. They shoot a lot of automatic fire. They do a great job. Rifles are all about dealing like direct damage to a target and hurting it. One target, right? Now, that's not to be confused with sniper rifles, which would do the same thing, but it's precision damage. You're not concerned generally about your hit location with a sniper rifle because you're going to hit where you need to hit. You need to hit the weapon out of his hand, you could shoot his hand off. You could shoot the weapon out of his hand. You could shoot him in the neck. I mean, you could do what you say you want to do. All right, but rifle talents are done. And now we're working on shotgun talents. All right. So with shotgun talents, the real concept here is, first of all, there's only 4, which is not good. We're going to have to create a whole lot of shotgun talents to make this work. All right. That being said, I mean, look how many rifle talents we have. And I'll just give you an example. I looked this up the other day. In my Patreon, right? When you go over to, if you ever make it by the GunCraze Patreon, and you read some of the text, you'll find out that, oh, there's over 120 talents. Wrong. I need to do some updating of my Patreon kind of background. All right. There is actually, we are pushing 200 now. All right. So that is a lot of talents. And all we've done so far is work on ranged combat. So we're really trying to get ranged combat built up, and then we're going to move on to melee combat, and we're going to see how good a melee character who kind of, maybe a character who does both, can do melee and shooting, or a character who shirks shooting altogether and goes maybe full melee and full body, so he becomes this monster wrestler type character like Zed. All right. And we're going to have a, all kinds of different builds that people will be able to create. There's literally, there's so many different combinations of characters. By using the point system for talents, it really blows the whole thing open. All right. We have so many skills too, and skills even come with starter items, if you will. Okay. So that being said, the amount of customization that your character can have is deep and vast. And I want you to keep in mind that GunCraze, again, like I said in the video earlier, is a classless system. There's no classes in GunCraze. You can literally start out one way and be like, you know what, I'm not a big fan of that. There's too much of that in the group. I'll keep it because I've had maybe some cross-use bonuses. And now I'm going to shift that over. And I'm going to shift over and start doing rifles. I'm going to go to sniper rifles and retain a lot of the balance, a lot of the abilities that I have with the regular rifles. Okay, so it's not like, oh, I've completely, lost all my abilities, all my special abilities. So moving on with that. So shotgun talents. Let's talk about the 4 talents we have right now, and then we're going to kind of like, I'm going to conceptualize them right here while we sit. Okay, so ranged combat talents. So we have breach training, and these are just summary descriptions. There's more text down below. Spend 1 slug round to breach an adjacent door. It's a basic shotgun utility. You spend a slug, and essentially the door opens for you. Knockback blast. Blast opponent's back and prone when struck at point blank range. Point blank range is within 10 feet. Skeet shooter. Negates the distance requirements for double tap. Okay, let's talk about double tap and see what we're even talking about there. All right, and I put a cross-use all weapons here, but this is the old format for cross-use. All these are an old format. We're going to get to them. All right. All right. So we're talking about, let's take a look. And what I like to do, and probably one of the key features of this stream, is to take a minute and we'll go away from what we're working on to look at the rules and make sure that they support what we're trying to do. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move down. We're going to take a look at we're going to look at double tap. All right. Which is actually another talent. I shouldn't have to travel far. There we go. Okay. You're able to take 2 rapid, precise shots in quick succession, catching your foes off guard with a pair of well-aimed attacks. You gain a second standard attack with any ranged weapon with the semi-ranged special rule. This attack is made with a -2 modifier. Both targets must be within the same 45-degree firing arc. So the wording, it used to be each target had to be within 4 squares of another. But then we went with firing arcs probably about, 6 to 8 months ago. And so now we're talking about this firing arc. All you do is fold a piece of paper in half and lay it down on the table. Make sure that they're both within the same range and you can shoot them both. All right. All right. So negates the distance requirements. Okay. What that means, skeet shooter. What the concept of a skeet shooter, if you've ever been to the range, they can actually shoot pretty wide. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that, this description. All right. Increase the firing arc for double tap, increase the firing arc for double tap to 90 degrees. All right, there we go. So that I'm gonna make this red. I like to make things red when I mess with them, so I can remember that, hey, I did mess with it a little, kind of keep track of it. All right, so moving on. So now we got a concept of 45-degree firing arc, and we see up here now skeet shooter will provide a 90-degree firing arc, and it will have a cross use. All right, cross use, and how cross use works is you use a keyword and then you replace the keyword. Increase the firing arc for shotguns using double tap to 90 degrees, right? So we will bold that one out. All right, we're gonna put 4 TP cross. This is our cross use cost. All right, and then the text will be replace shotguns with ranged weapons. And I got to think about that because I can change it. You know, do you want? Will it work with all ranged weapons? You know, and I'll have to play around with that as we go through. We're just getting started, so we're just milling over some ideas, and then we're going to look at special ammo training. Now, this is one of the ones that I've always kind of liked, but it doesn't feel really right. Okay, so special ammo training. There are a lot of different rounds for a shotgun, and some of them can be potentially very dangerous. However, the concept of loading one of these rounds and pulling the trigger is not difficult. However, I think what would happen is, because you're not trained in how to use the round, it will have decreased effectivity, all right? It will have decreased effectiveness, not effectivity. All right, I'll have a decreased effectiveness. So what does that mean? That means what I need to do is I need to break out special weapon training big time. The shotgun user is like the wizard of the group. He has the most tools on his shotgun to use, all right? He can do anything, okay? So that's kind of the concept of the shotgun user, and very excited to work with that. So we're going to get into that a lot. We're going to really now we're already done. Like, it's only 4. It's so boring, right? So we're really, like I said, we're going to really expand this, and we're going to come up with some ideas. All right. The very first idea I have is to have special ammo training for each type of additional round other than a slug or a shot round. All right. So what are a slug and a shot round? You may not be very familiar with weapons. I am not the all-knowing weapons guru. All right. I was a primary marksmanship instructor in the Marine Corps for 14, 15 years. All right. I've coached many Marines on how to shoot accurately. All right. However, outside of the Marine Corps, I never really had like a big gun collection or anything. I I've loved weapons ever since I was a kid. Weapon safety is always priority. Okay. That being said, so I admit I don't know everything about weapons, but I have a lot of friends that do. All right, because I have, and they're okay with me saying this. I have redneck friends. All right, and I just have gun junkie friends. All right, those are the best people on the planet. Like people that really enjoy talking about guns. To ask them those hard questions about guns. Okay. So we're going to move on. We're going to come up with we're going to go ahead and look at the different types of shotgun rounds that are in this section. And then I'm going to do something which I don't do often. I'm going to open up the this is a work in progress, but I'm going to open up the work in progress of book 2, all right, which is The Rise of the Corporations. And we're going to go look and see what is coming for shotguns, if anything at all. When you write, I'm at 242 pages today. When we started here, I think we were at 230. So we've added 12 pages of text in the last, so many episodes, okay? That being said, 16 episodes. That being said, we're going to go ahead and take a look at all the different rounds that are in the current book called The Days of Reckoning, which represents the first era of GunCraze, all right? GunCraze takes place, the storyline. Now let me segue real quick. You don't have to use the GunCraze storyline. You can use any storyline you want. All right, all this supports anything. All right. However, if you don't have a current scenario, the GunCraze storyline is fantastic. It's deep and involved, and I'm excited to bring that to you. So let's talk about. We're going to head over to weapons. Let's take a look at the current shotguns we have before we move on. All right. So we have a short barrel shotgun, which is a really small shotgun. Okay. Usually held with 2 hands, but it can be held in 1 hand. All right. It's essentially a sawed-off shotgun. All right. But just a regular shotgun, not a double barrel, and we'll get to that in a second. All right. We have the shotgun revolver. All right. You may have seen a weapon like this before. This is a Bad Mama Jamba. Now, the cool thing is you're probably asking, like, well, it's a handgun. Well, it's also a shotgun. So guess what? It has the special rule, hybrid handgun. Meaning, if you have handgun talents, you can use them with this. If you have shotgun talents, you can use them with this. It's a hybrid. A bunch of weapons have hybrid. Okay? A pump-action shotgun. A combat shotgun. A double-barrel shotgun. A sawed-off double-barrel shotgun, an automatic shotgun, like the AA-12. And then we have this beautiful baby down here called a Gauss gun, all right? This Gauss gun is actually a real device. You could look it up at Arc Flash, all right? It comes on for sale and off, and it goes on and off for sale every now and then for whatever reason. But they're a brilliant group of people, and they've created essentially what amounts to a shotgun as closely as it could be. It shoots projectiles, solid slug projectiles out, like a shotgun would. Not extremely accurate, but you don't want to get hit by this thing. All right, it is essentially, in a way, it's not exactly like a railgun as the gentleman explained to me, but it relates to a railgun. Okay. And then that's all of our shotguns that we have for this. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the different types of ammunition that we have by going down to ammunition. I am not a big fan of the ammunition area. I'm going to probably try to scale it way back for you guys, so don't get on me yet. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at shotgun ammo. Okay, so shotgun ammo, We have shotgun beanbag ammo, which delivers stamina damage. Okay. Shotgun birdshot ammo. All right. And birdshot, because of its wider spread, adds +3 to attack rolls. And its damage increases from 1d3 to 1d6 at point blank range. It normally has only 1d3 damage. All right. A character can spend 1 round to add +2 to all wilderness training rolls when using the find food ability. All right, so that's part of gathering food with wilderness training. All right, because hey, GunCraze is a survival game. If you should read up more about it. I'll get you more. You'll be able to have more resources to explain how Days of Reckoning is supposed to feel, and how the difference of how Rise of Corporations is supposed to feel after that. All right, so now we have our shotgun buckshot ammo. What is buckshot? Is a bunch of little pellets kept in a container. The round goes off and it shoots the pellets out. They actually don't spread as big as you'd think they would. Within maybe like 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, they don't become like this. All right, they actually maintain somewhat of a type group. It's just definitely not a bullets group, right? A bullet is 1 point. This is a bunch of beads. Okay. Shotgun slug ammo. All right, that's your solid projectile round. You do not want to get hit by that thing. Bad day. All right. Now we have an armor-piercing shotgun slug ammo. A hollow point shotgun slug ammo. That's just brutal, by the way, and not right. But they exist. All right. And that's what I see in here for shotgun ammo. I am not seeing... Oh, hold on. A little bit of bad pasting. That's okay. When I move this back from Google Docs into Word. Shotgun EMP ammo. All right. We have shotgun flashbang ammo. That sounds amazing, right? Shotgun flechette ammo. Flechette. Okay, let's talk about what those are real quick. EMP. The concept is, hey, there are robots in GunCraze, and you may have to fight them. These EMP rounds are going to do a mess of damage to a robot. All right. Upon impact, the EMP shotgun, it should be shotgun rounds, but explodes in a powerful electromagnetic pulse in a 5-foot radius. All electronic devices, robots, and technology systems within this area suffer 3d6 energy damage and must pass an endurance test against a target number equal to the energy damage dealt. Failing this test results in the target being temporarily disabled, shutting it down for D3 rounds. Additionally, any characters equipped with electronic devices or cybernetic enhancements must also make an endurance test against the same target number or suffer from a -4 penalty to any actions requiring their electronic devices for D3 round. All right. Shotgun flashbang ammo. This is essentially when you shoot it, a flashbang bits out the front. All right. It comes out as a blinding flash of light, and you can cause a lot of problems. Characters within 25 feet of the attacker's front arc must succeed, and I'll fix this as we get there, a toughness test against a target number of 10 or be blinded, deafened, and stunned for D3 rounds. Roll a separate D3 for each character. Okay? Shotgun flechette ammo. Shotgun flechette ammos are highly specialized type of ammunition consisting of a swarm of small darts. What does this do? This adds the bleeding, all right? This gives you bleeding. You do not want to have bleeding in this game if you have no way to staunch the flow. So hopefully you have some first aid guys around you that can wrap you. Bleeding causes you to lose 1d6 stamina per turn, all right? Shotgun incendiary ammo. Oh, we talked about this in rifles. If you've been with us on rifles, you know that if you know this is an important thing. Incendiary can cause bad problems. Basically, this is a dragon's breath round. All right, and you can light people on fire. All right, just to kind of backtrack, I am still fine-tuning the flame rules, the fire rules, but I have a great concept. I've been working on it now for about a year. I haven't laid it in here yet, but I have it coming. All right. Shotgun pepper shot ammo. Man, you want to mess somebody up? Shoot them with pepper in their face. Okay. Shotgun shock ammo. Okay.
It's a taser that fires 2 barbs tethered to a unit, and when both these wires hit you, you get electrocuted or you get shocked. Okay, so that's what we have in the Days of Reckoning book. We're going to go ahead and look at the. We're going to go ahead and look at. Let me find it. Book 2. There we go. Rise of the Corporations. We're going to take a peek at Rise of the Corporations. I don't open this a lot, not even for friends. All right. So if they are on here watching, that's great. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see if we even have any advanced ammunition in here for shotguns. Wow, it's pretty dead and empty. Okay. So none yet. But let's see what we do have. We'll take a moment. We will stroll. Do we have any other shotguns? Okay, I haven't added any additional shotguns yet. All right. Actually, it doesn't look like I have any additional weapons here. I got grabby. Must have pulled them back into the rule book. That's fine. Again, when you write a lot of pages of text, you can't be responsible to remember it all. You write it down so you don't have to remember it. All right. But advanced ammunition is going to have some great rounds in there. Rounds that you've never heard of before that are going to do great things. All right. We have, let's see, what do we got in here? Range weapon upgrades. Okay. We got lots of, some of that should be in the other book. Advanced medicine. All right. And what do we got here for Rise of the Corporation summary? It's all old. Man, I got a lot of work to do. That's all right. We'll get there. One book at a time, right? Okay. So that's basically the document. I forgot how little is in there. But we'll get there. All right. So those are the different types of rounds we're working to. This whole area needs to be completely re-streamlined. It's maybe. It's a lot of, it is a lot of different information. All right. And they could probably be caught better in tables. I do have tables, obviously, with the different rounds. So we're going to play around with it as we go. We'll get there. All right. We can only do one stream at a time and one work at a time. So let's get back to shotguns. And come up with some more ideas here. Talents, handgun, SMG, rifle, shotgun. Oh, sorry. I wanted to go not to the exact section. I wanted to go to the summary. This is where I always like to create my new talents from. Okay. So kind of a goal would be special ammo training. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have like different types of training based upon the different types of ammo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pitch up my my document on the side. And for those of you that don't use Word a lot, I'm going to show you a little trick. It's not like mind-blowing or anything, but it helps. All right. What you do is you go to View and you go to New Window. So you don't have to open the same document twice because that would be irritating. You have to rename it and all that stuff. Not even great. And now I'm in the same document. So if I type in one, it shows up in the other. Just a separate view. So I can look up two things at the same time. Very useful tool. All right. So right now we're going to the ammunition section. All right, and we're going to get over to shotgun. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add abilities for every round. So, and what it's going to do is, yeah, you can use these rounds. You can use these rounds base, but with the proper training, you're better at using these rounds than other people. So each one of these, all of these are going to end up being a talent on their own. And they're going to just make you better than other people trying to do the same thing. Okay? So, let's see. So I got to think about how the wording's going to go. I could call it like training or some kind of ability. Hey, if you're hanging around in chat listening to me run my gab, throw an idea out for me. What would be a cool way to hear it? I'd be interested. Not that I'm always going to jump on every idea, but I like to hear other people's ideas. It's very important. GunCraze is built by a community. So if you have that idea, throw it out. Okay, so we're going to go with, first one we have is the beanbag. So we can call it special ammo training beanbag. We could use 2 rows. But that is like really long. So maybe special trying to come up with a good solid name for it. Sorry. Still getting over this flu I had like 3 weeks ago. If you've been following me on here, I've had to stop several times to have little hacking fits. I think, knock on wood, I'm getting better. We'll continue to hope that that stays that way. Okay. Sorry, turning my heaters in here. It is wild. All right. So, how to call this? All right. Training. It could be just training. Beanbag round. Possibly. Incendiary rounds, flechette rounds, shotgun. Maybe we'll just let's feel it out with this and then see if we change our minds. All right. So we got to look at what a beanbag round does. All right. So I'm going to open up yet another window because I want to go back down to that section and really kind of see it down there in big text. All right. It does stamina damage. That's what it does. It does 46 of it, but for Delta 6. And let's see here. Here we go. All right, shotgun, beanbag. So shotgun beanbag rounds are designed for situations where lethal force is not necessary. These rounds are filled with a bag of small lead pellets or beans that are designed to incapacitate a target. The beanbag rounds are fired at close range and deliver a blunt force-free impact, causing pain and disorientation. It is important to note these rounds can still cause serious injury or even death if fired at close range or if the target is hit in vulnerable area. Okay, so a beanbag round deals 4 Delta 6 of stamina damage. What does that mean? What are we going to do to improve upon with training? All right, what are we going to get out of this? Okay. So that being said, we're going to go back to the thing, back to the other screen. And, all right, so what we're going to do is add 2 advantage dice when rolling damage with using beanbag rounds. Okay, what is an advantage dice? So advantage dice are extra d6s rolled in addition to damage. And what you do is if you add 2, you take off 2. If you add 3, you take off 3. If you add 5, you take off 5. All right, so your damage can never go above the maximum possible damage for that round, except in a couple situations, which we'll be discussing other days. All right. So add 2 advantage dice when rolling damage using the beanbag rounds. So that's not bad. All right. What else could be cool, right? You know, do I want to add a little bit more on top of that, or I could always say, level 2 or improved and mastered, but that's going to really make it exploded out. And I don't think this is that great of a thing, but I'm going to keep it cheap. I mean, I think this is good, but it's not amazing. So I'm going to make it like a utility talent almost. I'm just going to make it 1 talent point, maybe 2. So you buy it, and now you're running around with this. You're beanbagging everybody to death. Okay. So yeah, let's leave it at let's drop it in at 2. All right, we're going to insert row below, and we'll just copy that because plagiarism is. I have a way I like to say it, and it just blanked my mind because I'm a knucklehead. Let's see here. Training. Next one is the birdshot. All right, so we're going to put that at shotguns 1. All right, and let's go look at birdshot again. So birdshot adds +3 to attack rolls due to its spread, and I think that's fair. I'm down to leave that. But I think this portion down here, a character can spend 1 round to add +2 to wilderness training rolls when using find food ability. I think we're going to go ahead and add that to a +4. And we're going to make this a utility talent. All right. So it adds a +4 when using the find food ability rather than. All right, and we're gonna make it a little better. All right, because this is okay, but I'm gonna make it better. Increase damage to 3. Now, see, that's not ideal, right? I mean, if it's a D3 damage for this weapon, and the concept is you're using it, and you have this training, you're going to be able to do a little bit more, all right? So, D3. All right. So what is birdshot? Birdshot is very fine pellets. If you hit a man at like 20 feet, he is probably not going to die at all. He'll just be upset. If you hit anything like a bear, it will laugh at you. And then it's going to eat you immediately. Okay? Unless you run faster than it, or if you run faster than your other teammates. All right? So birdshot, again, is a very fine grain, very fine beads. And it's meant to take down birds, but not obliterate them so that you can eat them. All right? And that's kind of what the bonus does for this. So now you've gone ahead and you've bought this training. All right? And what I'm going to do is I want to add something, but I shouldn't. I should just leave +4 because that's actually a really good bonus for survival guys. It's kind of role-playing-y, right? We like role-playing. All right, so we'll just kind of leave that in there. Adds +4 when you use a find food rather than +2. I usually don't do that. I'll do it instead of +2. Or increases. There you go. Increases find food bonus to +4. There we go. That kind of matches. All right, so we're looking at this again. A character can spend 1 round to add +2 to all wilderness training rolls when using the find food ability. Okay, so again, we're going to use the text here to help us keep it streamlined. All right, go back here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and paste it in so I can use it as a kind of a template. Increase equipment bonus to +4 for wilderness training rolls when using the find food ability. Okay, that'll work. It's a little utility talent. Or again, the concept is, while we're going into shotguns, we're thinking wizard, we're thinking all kinds of utilities and uses. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. All right. So now we're on a buckshot. Okay, so that's a normal round for a shotgun user. I don't think I'm going to add that. It's not really a special round. All right. But we're going to move on. Next is the flashbang round. All right. So insert row below. All right. And we're just going to be, you know, we're just going to step it up, kind of shake it up around here. We're going to go shotguns 3 for that one. We're going to take a look at the bonus for, once again, for flashbang. I think it's pretty nasty. All right. It was in a separate area. Here it is. Characters within 25 feet of the attacker's front arc. The attacker's, let's see, firing arc. 45-degree firing arc. Must succeed a toughness test against a target number of 10 or be blinded, deafened, and stunned for D3 rounds. All right, so I think that this toughness test is huge, and I'm okay with it, but I want to increase it. I want to increase it. If you get the talent, you're better at using this. Therefore, let's increase the bonus. But, you know, 12 is, like, rough, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this off to 8, and I'm going to have the talent increase it to 10. And that will be, you know, that's extra 2 that you have to succeed on. All right. Must succeed a toughness test against a target number of 8. Will be blinded, deafened, and stunned for 3 rounds. Okay, so for D3 rounds, let's see. If I make it more, I can make it just flat 3 rounds or make it D3 plus 1 rounds, which is actually pretty cool. All right. So we can do this. We can do this. We'll go ahead and copy this. And what we're going to do is cut it down. All right. So we're going to copy this. We're going to paste it in here as things. All right. So toughness test increases to no. Toughness test target number increases to 10. And conditions last for D3 plus 1 rounds. See, little formatting things, periods at the back of these. You know, I have to determine. I think I'm going to take the periods off because this is a summary section. All right, and I'll have to work on that as I go. Just something I noticed. All right. See, now it makes me feel like we can add another level of this, though. Like, add birdshot, make it even more, so that a shotgun user always has something to look forward to. So maybe being the wizard of the party, maybe he should get a buttload of talents, and I'm okay with that too. All right. So we're going to take off the rounds part here. We'll call it SA training for special ammo training. All right. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to add more. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get the we're going to go ahead and get the stick, the carrot, put it on there. I am not a big fan of how that sits, but I can also do things to make it not so bad. It's always something, right? Formatting, you only have so much room. What I could do drop that there. That gives me a little more room. And then what I could do is, well, let's see, it took away some room from that. Painful. So just, there's that. No, I'm not a big fan of that. Okay. Well, I know I have this at least. So what I can do is grab this, take the bottom caret, and push the item to the end of the arrow. And then back this up a little bit. Well, never mind. Doesn't want to back up a little bit. That's fine. Whatever. All right. So beanbag training improved. We'll do 2, 3. And then we'll go ahead and go below. Oh, sorry. That didn't really fall in there, did it? Let me grab one of these good ones here. All right, so yeah, it's all, you know, little formatting stuff. You know, a lot of times I try to do formatting when you guys are not on stream, or we're not on stream, but in some cases, I have to do it like this. Okay, so now I'm going to select this one and push its base out to here. Select this one again because we're in that one. Push its base to there. Make this master. I could, like I said, I could do this. That might look a little better. But it feels like I'm definitely eating a row no matter how I can get it. So, oh well. We'll figure it out as we go. The formatting days are formatting days. This is not really a formatting day. All right. But we have the essay training beat. So now we're going to go shotguns 4. All right. And we're going to make this 4 TP. All right. And what we're going to do is that's okay. It's not great. I think it's too much to get 1. I don't think anybody would buy that. So what I'm going to do is okay, so you're getting some advantage dice to increase your stamina damage. We'll go utility and just go 1, 2, 3. And maybe, all right, we can change it around. This is okay, you know, as long as you can go. I had 2 damage dice when rolling damage using beanbag rounds. All right. So that is a pretty good punch in the face, stamina damage wise. So that could work. So that would give you 6d6 stamina damage with 4 advantage dice. That people would probably go for that. That is a lot of damage for the beanbag, and you have enough training. You hit him hard. All right. Of course, this hits a sheet of armor. Nothing's really going to happen. All right, just the way it is. Okay, I do think the concept of just inundating shotgun with talents is actually kind of fun, and it's all going to be based upon their special ammunition. All right, to make it better as they go. A shotgun player should feel like they're improving, and they get to be selective, pick what they like, and improve on it. Try different things, and not get kind of railroaded into the same thing every time. So I do look forward to that. We are coming up on the end of our stream in 3 minutes. I'm going to show you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to show you using Wartop, which is a virtual tabletop simulator. I'm going to show you a attacking and defending kind of skit, and then I'm going to go on to a dealing damage skit after that, and then we're going to close out the stream. So thank you guys for joining me. We're going to work more on, I'm going to definitely work on some shotgun talents and hopefully have something to show you during our next stream, which goes tomorrow night at 10 p.m. All right, so tomorrow night, 10 p.m. till whenever I get tired, which lately it's actually been earlier than later. But I hope you can stick with me tomorrow night, 10 p.m. on the stream. I'm going to go ahead and launch that right about now.
Attacking and defending in GunCraze. Demonstrated on Wartop, an exciting new virtual tabletop available on Steam. Sanctifier attacks Punisher with his minigun. In GunCraze, both players roll d10s in opposed tests, keeping both sides actively engaged. Sanctifier rolls a 10, while Punisher gets a dismal roll of 1. Sanctifier adds his attack bonus, and Punisher, without cover, must use his evasion defense. The result is 16 versus 1. Sanctifier hits his mark with ease. Learn more at GunCraze.net. Dealing damage in GunCraze. Demonstrated on Wartop, Sanctifier has hit Punisher and rolls his burst D3. He scores 2, doubling his damage. He rolls 6 damage dice and a hit location. 23 damage. This damage is applied to the 7, or torso, reducing Punisher's torso armor to 12. Learn more at GunCraze.net.